A lot of developments tonight in the Stanford University sexual assault case that has outraged many.
KCAL9's Erica Nochlin live in the newsroom with what growing calls to remove the judge from the bench and new revelations on the attacker's background. Erica?
Lena, Jeff, you're right. A lot of new developments tonight. We've gotten a hold of the probation report in this case. It reveals some surprising facts, and more people are now publicly weighing in.
Nearly 1 million people have signed a Change.org petition to remove Judge Aaron Persky from the bench for sentencing former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner to just 6 months in jail for sexual assault. The latest backlash? The San Jose Mercury News reports 10 jurors in an upcoming trial refused to serve in his courtroom. One standing up in court berating the judge, "I can't believe what you did." This potential juror said she didn't realize who he was, but if she had,
if I knew, I probably would be biased.
KCAL9 News legal analyst Steve Meister says that sets a dangerous precedent.
Your job is not to judge the judge that way.
And now new questions about the judge's past. The New York Daily News reports Persky was lenient on 2 college baseball players in a gang rape case 5 years ago. The case, a 17-year-old girl drunk at a party, sexually assaulted, the players acquitted.
You took away my worth.
And in Washington today, Republican Congressman Ted Poe read some of the letter Brock Turner's victim wrote that's gone viral. He demanded Persky be ousted and his ruling overturned.
Mr. Speaker, the punishment for rape should be longer than a semester in college.
Vice President Joe Biden is also weighing in. He wrote in an open letter to the victim, "I am filled with furious anger that this happened to you and that our culture is so broken that you were ever put in the position of defending your own worth." But some say slow down on the criticism of the judge.
I think the sentence is fair.
Public defender Molly O'Neill.
This was a rough decision to make for Judge Persky, but Mr. Turner is in fact going to go to jail. He's a convicted felon. He will have to register as a sex offender for his entire life.
The LA Times editorial board wrote that sentencing decisions should not be up to public opinion. The article reads, "Many states and the federal government are in the midst of a broad reevaluation of the criminal justice system and are returning some discretion to judges. That's a healthy move, and it should not be derailed by our perception that one high-profile sentence let one perpetrator off too easily." Meister agrees.
We don't want to be in a situation where we're telling judges what they have to do and what they don't have to do. No, that's their job to figure it out. And they have to make some tough calls.
And late tonight, one more development. We obtained court documents showing Brock Turner's probation officer knew the defendant was untruthful in his testimony regarding the victim being unconscious. Despite this, records show the officer recommended a light sentence. A detail that likely will not go over well with the 1 million people already calling to oust the judge.
I would guess that 3 out of about 1 million of those people know the facts of the case and the legal issues of the case well enough to have a really informed opinion at all.
And now Judge Persky has even received death threats. Now, of course, even one of his most outspoken critics, the prosecutor, says that is taking things too far. Jeff and Lena?